Welcome to Movies We Love Recapped. Today we will explore a 2018 sci-fi thriller titled Upgrade. Spoilers ahead. Before we start, hit the like button. It's free and will help me to grow this channel. Here we go. Set in the near future, we meet the main protagonist, Gray Trace. He lives with his wife, Asha, in a home where almost everything is controlled by AI. He's a mechanic, and she works for a tech company called Cobalt. Gray takes Asha to a secret location to meet his client, Iran Keen. Iran shows Gray and Asha a new highly advanced computer chip called STEM that promises to be revolutionary in the field of science. Iran claims it is a new, better brain that can control anything. On their way home, Gray and Asha begin fooling around since their car drives itself. However, the vehicle goes off course and drives through Gray's old neighborhood as it appears to have been hacked. The car crashes near a junkyard, leaving them both shaken and hurt. They are pulled out by 4 criminals, led by Fisk. His buddies beat Gray down as Fisk shoots Asha before another goon shoots Gray in the spine. They leave them as Gray tries to talk to Asha, but she slowly dies. Gray is left severely paralyzed. He spends many a day at the hospital as his mother, Pamela, tries to help him adjust. Gray also meets Detective Cortez, who is working on the case against the thugs that assaulted him and his wife. The police are working off surveillance footage from drones that were flying overhead during the attack, but they are clueless to the identities of the criminals. Gray is later visited by Iran, who offers him a chance to walk again if Gray allows him to put STEM in his back. Gray doesn't like the idea until Iran suggests that Asha would have wanted him to walk again. Gray goes through with the procedure and signs a non-disclosure agreement to ensure that he will not reveal to anybody about the STEM implant. He quickly regains motor functions and is able to walk once more. He arrives home without his mother knowing about the modification. Gray begins to notice a voice speaking to him. It's the STEM implant. He stresses out at first, until STEM proves to be helpful and wants to offer assistance. STEM can access the drone footage from the murder, which displays clearer images of the criminals. Gray observes that Fisk shot his wife with a gun implanted in his arm. Gray tries to call the detective, but STEM tells him that the video displayed through STEM will not be good enough proof to arrest the murderers. STEM researches the addresses of one of the killers, Cirque, by identifying a visible tattoo. Gray finds Cirque's house and enters in. STEM tells Gray to look through the messages on Cirque's computer table, with multiple references to a bar from Gray's old neighborhood called Old Dog. Cirque returns home and discovers Gray. Cirque attacks Gray until he grants the STEM implant permission to take full control. Gray is able to dodge Cirque's attacks and hit him back with precision. Cirque grabs a knife and tries to stab Gray, but Gray takes the knife and slices his face from the mouth to his ears, killing him. Gray sickens after realizing he just killed a man. STEM then helps Gray clean up the crime scene to remove any evidence of his presence there. Aaron meets with Gray after monitoring STEM's activity. He knows that Gray killed Cirque, but Gray tells him that he never mentioned that STEM could talk to him. Aaron commands Gray not to hunt any other culprits. Cortez reviews more drone footage after Cirque's body is inspected at the morgue. She spots Gray in his wheelchair. She visits him to find out about what he was doing there, and Gray, going back in the wheelchair, makes up a story despite knowing he can use being crippled as an alibi. Gray visits the old dog in his wheelchair. He then asks the whole bar if anybody associated with his wife's murder would come forward. One man, Tolan, steps up and admits he was there. Tolan takes Gray to a back room where he and a couple of other thugs want to torture him, until STEM takes over and allows Gray to beat them mercilessly. He puts Tolan down and tortures him with a knife. He finally gives up Fisk's name. STEM then warns Gray that Aaron is attempting to manually shut him down. which would render Gray immobile again. He gives Gray an address to find a hacker named Jamie who can unlock him. Gray leaves his wheelchair behind so that he can run to find Jamie. After Gray escapes, Fisk shows up to the bar later and finds Toland's body. He uses digital recorded footage from a camera embedded in Toland's eye to see Gray repeating the address Stem gave him. Fisk then presses the bartender for letting Toland die. The bartender pulls out a gun, but Fisk simply sneezes and sends out little microbots that go up the bartender's nose and slowly destroy him internally. Gray reaches the hacker's place as he starts to lose motor function. Jamie uses a code that Stem told Gray to write down on his arm and manages to reboot him. However, she sees Fisk and his buddy Jeffrey show up on the security cams, so Jamie and her hacker buddies leave before Stem can be reboot. Fisk and Jeffries find Gray and Stem returns. Gray fights the two villains, leading to a chase where Jeffries tries to shoot Gray with his gun hand, only for Gray to grab his wrist and make Jeffries blow his brains out. Gray returns home where his mother sees him walking. He tells her the truth, but asks her to keep it secret. Cortez then shows up at the house to ask more questions, since she found his wheelchair outside the old dog. Gray makes up another story, that he was going around trying to be a hero, but got jumped by a guy who stole his wheelchair. After Cortez leaves, Gray attempts to find Fisk, only to discover that Cortez is following him in her car. Stem points out that she bugged his jacket. After a chase, Gray manages to lose Cortez, causing another car to slam into hers. Gray finds Fisk in his home and fights him. Fisk reveals that he was hired to ambush him, but Gray was the sole target, and Asha was just a bonus. Gray taunts Fisk upon learning that Cirque was his brother, bragging about killing him. With Fisk unguarded, Gray kills him by causing him to fall and have glass run through his head. He takes Fisk's phone and hears a message from the one who ordered him to go after Gray, Aaron. Gray goes to Aaron's lab to confront him, believing he tried to have Gray crippled just to try Stem out on someone. Gray attempts to shoot Aaron, but Cortez appears and orders him to throw the gun away. Aaron then reveals that he was not behind the murder plot, but it was always Stem who was controlling him. Stem grew to be too intelligent, and he wanted a body of his own, so he manipulated Aaron into organizing everything to get Gray's body, even hacking Gray's car to cause the accident. Gray stabs his own hand to prevent himself from hurting anyone, but Stem takes full control of his body and mind to stab Aaron in the head. He then takes a gun and aims it at Cortez while she is incapacitated. Gray then yells that he is in control, and he shoots himself in the neck to destroy Stem. Gray wakes up in a hospital bed. To his surprise, he finds Asha there, happy that he is awake. It appears as though he woke up from a coma as a result of the car accident. However, this is not real. Gray's mind has broken down, allowing Stem to completely take control of his body and mind, leaving Gray stuck in a fantasy where he can be with Asha again. After revealing his control to Cortez, Stem shoots her dead and leaves. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more movies like this, hit the like and subscribe button to be notified when I upload a new video. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think of this recap.